It's late in the day, and I'm just now getting back to the office. So I've been promising I was going to do this video on the four basic styles of communication. So here I am. Let's get this thing knocked out, so I can get on about the rest of my day. We've just really had a great week. We've had a lot of job leads come in, so I am a busy man. So the reason I wanted to talk about the four basic styles of communication is that a few years back, I did a job interview, and one of the people doing the interviewing really threw me for a curve. Most job interviews are just your basic standard questions, and there was an individual in the interview process that asked me if I view my how I view my style of communication, and whether or not I am an aggressive communicator or an assertive communicator. And at the time, being hit, kind of getting hit upside the head in the middle of an interview, really trying to process that type of information coming at you can be very difficult and challenging. So I made sure when I left that interview, and we're talking, this might have been over 10 years ago, I left that interview, and I looked up the styles of communication, and it felt good to me. I read it, and it's something I go back to on a regular basis, and I'm super cognitive of the fact when I'm trying to communicate, because I'm just like everyone out there. I've got some friends that, I've got a couple names. One of my friends in particular likes to call me sassy, and remind me on a regular basis that I'm a hothead. And I struggle with going in between passive communicating and being aggressive. And then I would like to think of myself as primarily an assertive communicator, because that's the best style to be. And I know that there are many times every single day that I find myself drifting back into being passive or being overly aggressive, and those types of things can have to do with the mood you're in that day. And this is going to be another video, but also your diet and your physical exercise come into play when it comes to being short with people and getting aggressive with them. And that's going to be another video that's going to come up. I'm just dying to talk about your diet and eating healthy, and we'll get to that another day. But let's buckle down here today, and let's review this real quick. I've got it pulled up on the computer, and I'm just going to read you some basic information about the four basic styles of communication. So your first one is passive communication. It's a style in which individuals develop a pattern of avoiding and expressing their opinions or feelings, protecting their rights, and identifying and meeting their needs. Passive communicators will often fail to assert themselves. They will fail to express their feelings, needs, and opinions. Some of the impacts of the patterns of passive communication in those individuals is they often feel anxious because their life seems to feel out of control. They often feel confused because they ignore their own feelings. The passive communicator will say, believe, or behave like they'll say, I don't know what my rights are. I get stepped on by everyone. People never consider my feelings. So think about some of those things. Look them up on your own and familiarize yourself with that passive behavior. The next one, aggressive communication. It's a style in which individuals express their feelings and opinions and advocate for their needs in a way that violates rights of others. Aggressive communicators are verbally and physically abusive. Being aggressive, they try to dominate others. They're very impulsive. They speak in a loud, demanding, overbearing voice. Oops. They don't listen well. They use you statements. The aggressive communicator will say, believe, or behave. They'll say things like, I can violate your rights. You're not worth anything. I'm entitled. You owe me. I owe you. So look back at those things. Look it up on your own. That aggressive style. I tell you, I do it. I do it on a regular basis. And when I do it, it usually doesn't take more than 30 seconds to register in my brain. I say, holy cow, Jason, what did you just say? But you know what? That's a behavior that I learned young in life. And it's something that I'm working on kicking. That's why I do this. That's why I look this up on a regular basis and I read through it and I remind myself of what I want to be, how I want to communicate. The next one is passive-aggressive communication. It's a style in which individuals appear passive on the surface but are really acting out of anger. Some of the passive-aggressive communication, some of the things they'll do is boy, this one really bothers me. They'll mutter to themselves rather than confront the person or the issue. They'll use sarcasm. Sarcasm can be funny in some instances, but you've got to know how to use it correctly. You know, an overuse of sarcasm just comes off as being a negative person. They'll use subtle sabotage to get even with you. The impact of the pattern of passive-aggressive communication is, these people become to feel like they're alienated. They remain stuck or powerless over themselves in situations. Passive-aggressive communicator will say, believe, or behave. They'll say, I'm weak and resentful, so I sabotage, frustrate, or disrupt. I will appear cooperative, but I'm not. So, read back through that. Learn what passive-aggressive communication is, and by all means, let's stay away from that. It's not good. So, moving forward, we're at the last one. There's only 4 of them. It's not that hard. Let's read through these 4 and learn them and know when you use them. Let's get to it. Assertiveness. It's the style of communication. This is assertive communication. It's individuals that clearly state their opinions and feelings and firmly advocate for their rights and needs without violating the rights of others. Assertive communicators they'll feel in control. They'll have good eye contact. Very important. They'll feel connected to others. They don't allow others to abuse them or manipulate them, and they stand up for their rights. The impact of the pattern of assertive communication is they feel connected to others. They feel in control of their lives, and they create respectful environments for others to grow and mature. That's what we're doing here. This is the purpose of these videos. Assertive communicators, they'll say, believe, behave in these ways. They'll say, I'm confident about who I am. I can't control others, but I can control myself. I place high priority on having my rights respected. Nobody owes me anything unless they've agreed to give it to me. I am 100% responsible for my own happiness. There you have it, folks. Let's learn how to be assertive. Let's kick all these other bad habits. Let's be assertive. Let's be powerful. Let's create a powerful communication style to where others will respect us, and we will in return respect those others. Thanks for coming by today, and I hope you learned something.